Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. Cases, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, welcome into the Cam Show, powered by Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeping us on the air as he does from behind the glass 5 days a week. We're going to hear from Zach later. We're bringing Zach back into the fold, talking sports movies, which we love to do. But first, we are going to talk Red Sox. What a monumentous occasion tonight for the Red Sox. How about this for a pitching matchup? The major league debut of your number one pitching prospect against the number one pitcher in baseball. Maybe the number one pitching prospect of all time a couple years ago in Paul Skenes at the Fens. Unbelievable setup in the Fenway Greens tonight. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about that matchup, Payton Tolle, what that means for the Red Sox down the stretch this year. And let's learn a little bit more about Payton Tolle because he's going to be on this team hopefully for a long, long time. So we're going to talk that. We're going to talk the worst football movies of all time. College football well and truly starts this weekend. I've got a big game tonight that I am worried about that I couldn't sleep over. So we're going to keep it to football when it comes to the movies in the second one because I do want to do baseball movies at some point. But anyway, now I'm just ranting and raving. But let's start where we start. It's on the thumbnail. It is a massive night for the Red Sox. Like huge. I can't even let's talk about not just Payton Tolle, but the setting of this game. This is going to be awesome, okay? The Red Sox didn't just call up another prospect. They've done that a couple of times this year. This isn't that. They're about to unleash their future ace on Major League Baseball tonight. What better way to introduce Payton Tolle to the show than to go opposite Paul Skenes, the best pitcher in the game at Fenway Park? This has all kinds of intrigue written all over it. Payton Tolle, man, he is the next one. I talked about Brian Bayo at length yesterday about how important, how key he is going to be for the future of this Red Sox rotation. Payton Tolle is the guy going forward. Bayo will be too, don't get me wrong. But Tolle is going to come up, and he has been shoving. There's a reason why he's the number one pitching prospect in the Red Sox system. And when it comes to what we're looking at tonight, right, just the bare bones of setting the scene tonight, you've got Paul Skenes in town. That almost never happens. His first time at Fenway Park. That in and of itself is an event. But then you throw in the major league debut of the Red Sox next ace starting pitcher, then that amps it up to the nth degree. And it goes right in line with what we've been seeing all summer. And that is the Red Sox are box office in this city again. Like, well and truly. Tom Caron tweeted this out yesterday, in case you missed it. NESN ratings up 46% this season. Last Friday's 1-0 win over the Yankees was the highest rated game on NESN since 2022's home opener. A Friday night in the summer. And they were crushing it. NESN 360's unique viewership up 177% this season. Subscriptions up 111% compared to last August. This team is playing meaningful baseball. They're playing really well at home, even though they're coming off, 7 of 8 on the road, this last road trip. And they're exciting. They're fun. And they're bringing up guys who are going to be parts of their future. Early in the season, it was Christian Campbell. Then it was Marcelo Meyer. Then it was Roman Anthony. And now it's Payton Tolle. Like, the excitement is through the roof for this team and for these prospects. And Tolle is just the next in that line because we got to talk about him. Okay, I did a profile on Payton Tolle last week. If you missed it, you should check that out on the channel. You don't want to miss that. It kind of goes in depth on his story so far. But one of the takeaways from that video was me saying I didn't think we'd see him this year. And so I got to say, I'm surprised we've seen him up here. And that's not because he's not good enough. It's not because he hasn't impressed enough people. But that was solely based on the fact that this will be his fourth professional baseball league this year. Cups of coffee in Portland and Worcester, and bam! Here he is in the majors before we even turn the calendar to September. This kid was pitching in the Big 12 last year. And now he's going to be pitching against the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is comparable to like half of the Big 12. It does seem crazy. Like, let's be honest, it does seem crazy. But here's why it's not that crazy. He does shove. This dude shoves. Like, first off, 6'6", 250. He's one of the most intimidating pitchers in baseball already. My dude should be lining up in the 5 technique, rushing the passer. I shouldn't even be speaking English. Should be rushing the passer in the NFL right now. Instead, he's going to be part of the next great Red Sox dynasty. I'll take it. And that size helps, man. Mainly with his extension. Okay, we love those metrics. The extension for a big lefty, 7.5 inches of extension. That already slots him in the 95th percentile in all of MLB. Like, that is tough to see. And what's crazy, too, is his command has gotten even better as he's rose through the ranks. His strikeout to walk ratio is 3 strikeouts better in AAA than it was in AA. Pretty nasty 8-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That's pretty gross, man. And his fastball has elevated. You watch this kid tonight, man. You don't need to be a major league scout to realize like that. What he's got is a big league fastball. And when he was drafted in the second round last year, it was sitting like 92, 93. That's great. Alan Embry kind of career, nothing wrong with that. Tanyan Sturt's kind of career, nothing wrong with that. But now it's sitting 96 to 98. Then you've turned yourself from Alan Embry into a legit top-of-the-line starting pitcher in the major leagues based off that alone. So to see the ticks add to his fastball and the command getting better, that's why scouts are salivating over this guy. And again, that extension, 7.5 inches, 7.5 inches, by the way, huge, humongous. Don't let any female tell you differently, okay, or male. That's huge. Anyway, the 7.5 inches of extension makes that 96-mile-an-hour fastball look like about 102 because it's just coming right at you. 7.5 inches and coming right at you. That's what's turned him into a legit starter prospect and not just a nice, setup guy, lefty specialist guy. And that's where I find it very interesting about Tolle as it relates to the rest of this season. Is he going to be a 7th inning lefty specialist that you utilize in the postseason, or is this guy going to be starting? Because at first I thought, okay, let's bring him. If you're going to bring him up, then he can be in a couple of different positions, in terms of like just use him out of the bullpen when it comes to the postseason, when you've got a 4-man rotation, and use him as a long guy, use him as a 7th inning guy, maybe a setup when you've used a couple of your guys up. Let's see what he can do in those situations. And obviously using him in late September and some of those before you try him out in the postseason. But I think there was, that kind of flexibility for him. But all the scouts are saying, no, this kid's a starter. He's got 3-4 pitches. He's got a deadly fastball changeup combo, and the slider's much better. Like, that kid's a starting pitcher. He's going to be a starter. And that he needs to be that as he integrates himself into the major leagues. I'll be very interested to see how they use him for that. But speaking of getting yourself integrated to the major leagues, like, he's going against Paul Skenes tonight, but he's not going against Paul Skenes tonight, right? Like, he's not facing Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes is the opposite pitcher. All right, that's what makes it great every half inning. No chance to get up and take a piss until someone calls to the bullpen. But he's facing the Pirates. Yeah, this Pirates team that is 26th in batting average, 7th most strikeouts in baseball, although they do have less than the Red Sox, 25th in on-base percentage, and then dead last, 30th in slugging percentage, and 30th again in OPS. They're 14 points lower than the next worst team in slugging. This is not a threatening lineup. On the one hand, boy howdy, welcome to the league. here's Paul Skenes going against you in the on the mound. You know what I mean? Not going to get much run support. But on the other hand, it's kind of like what you were facing in AAA. It's kind of like the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Okay? It's kind of like the Hartford Yard Goats before that, the Manchester Fisher Cats. Like, you're not that much crazier going from AAA to facing the Pittsburgh Pirates. So it makes a weekend series against the Pirates in the summer pretty interesting, right? And oh, by the way, just in terms of the Red Sox in general, Toronto is facing the Brewers this weekend. So finally a chance to truly climb back into this division race, because they're not out of it for sure. But the Blue Jays just keep winning. And as the Red Sox keep winning, so does Toronto. This is the weekend where you can make some ground. Sweep this series, which would make it 10 out of 11, which is probably, close to what you should be doing against Baltimore and Pittsburgh, right? You should win at least 6 of those 7 games, and you're already 4-0. So Payton Tolle, though, I am excited to see this kid. There's only so much you could take from the stats because it's across 3 different leagues, right? And there's not as much advanced stats that we have access to in the minors as we do when he actually makes it to the majors. You're going off of what the radar gun says, what the pitch mix looks like, things like the extension. But in terms of just the numbers, you got to take it with a grain of salt because it's across 3 leagues. It's across high A, double A, triple A this whole year. And across those 3 leagues, I'll give you the numbers anyway. His ERA is just about 3.04. He's got 133 strikeouts and 91 2/3 innings. The whip is something to be desired, 1.15. Not the best. Strikeout per 9 across 3 leagues, 13. Strikeout per walk, 5.78, which, as I've mentioned, is in the mid-5s in single A and double A, but jumped up to 8.5 at triple A, where he's facing probably the best hitters, although some would argue double A is where he's facing the real prospects. And he did not walk a lot of guys when he got to AAA. And across 3 leagues this year, he's only got 23 walks. So it's not like he was walking a ton of guys in the other leagues. I am so excited about Payton Tolle. And I'm really excited about down the stretch, potentially going with going with an extended rotation, because we'll see about the 4-man rotation when it comes to the postseason. But how about this for your 5 as it stands right now? Crochet, Giolito, Bayo, Dustin May, Payton Tolle. That's tough. That is really tough. Obviously, Dustin May's the odd man out there. I mean, we haven't seen Tolle pitch yet, I guess. Maybe that's unfair. But May's not very good. Giolito, we'll see with the arm and how taxing that gets for a guy coming off of Tommy John as we enter the true dog days into September. But as I mentioned on the show yesterday, you got 2 aces up at the top. Crochet and Bayo for the last 2 months have been deadly similar. Like dead ringers, man. In fact, in their each of their last 11 starts going into yesterday, so that's not including Crochet yesterday, in each of their last 11 starts, they've pitched the same amount of innings and given up the same amount of earned runs. So 2 aces, plus you add your ace of the future in Payton Tolle. This is scary. This could be scary good. And of course, I am one of those guys who wants more, who needs more. And so I see how scary good this rotation is right now. And I just think, man, could have also had Joe Ryan without touching any of your pitching prospects, most likely, and none of your starters in the major leagues. You could have had Joe Ryan. You weren't giving up Payton Tolle for him. That wasn't going to happen. So is what it is. Would I have a package highlighted by Marcelo Meyer to go out to Minnesota and get Joe Ryan in the offseason? Yeah, probably. Even though there's a gap between Trevor Story and Franklin Arias in terms of the future of your middle infield. But I think that would just be absolutely lethal. 3 aces at the top, plus Payton Tolle. One of them, Garrett Crochet, is not cost controlled, but is team controlled on a good, healthy extension, a nice value extension, it looks like. Bayo is, for all intents and purposes, team controlled because it's off one of those big rookie Atlanta Braves kind of deals, Payton Tolle team control, and like cheap cost control, I should say, like that. I'm trying to differentiate between a nice value contract and like a major league 6 years of service time contract. And Joe Ryan is also on one of those nice team controlled, not his first contract, but a pretty good number. So if you were able to roll those 4 guys out next year, World Series, it would have to be. It would have to be. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. How excited are you for Payton Tolle versus Paul Skenes tonight and about the future of this Red Sox rotation? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely free, and we're on the path towards 4,000 subscribers. We are here every weekday live at high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well, to give you an alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. Check out the other videos on our channel, talking Red Sox, a lot of Bruins, which we'll get more into next week, Patriots, everything else going on in the world of Boston sports here on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up next, we're going to bring Zach Burke into the fold. We're going to Mount Rushmore. We're going to do a couple of great Sports Talk Radio segments to get you into the Labor Day weekend, because we know you've already checked out not only sports movies and not only a Mount Rushmore, but a bracket to get to the sports movies Mount Rushmore, and a hilarious story about my haircut yesterday. That's coming up next on The Cam Show.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
InMotion is more than just a name. It's a legacy of innovation. From supplying electric vehicle parts like motors and inverters since the 1960s to creating cutting-edge electric scooters, hoverboards, and unicycles, InMotion is shaping the future of mobility. Whether you're looking for industrial power solutions or accessible personal transport, InMotion has you covered. Explore our products and experience the future of movement. Visit store.inmotionworld.com today.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files, remove malware and viruses, and protect your device. It also optimizes your Mac's hard disk, fixes disk permission issues, and cleans memory, all to boost your Mac's performance to the max. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It's all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic, which is really great for your baby's sensitive skin.
And it's made with Climatech, which regulates your baby's temperature.
You can also get Joy's crib sheets, which are made of the same super soft material.
Joy gave my baby comfort
and gave me peace of mind.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey, past, present, and future. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence, elevate creativity, and honor what matters most. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
And now, back to our show.
Back to our show, The Cam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network, up close and personal with Zach Burke.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
The podcaster studio. Dude, you know what's I got two things before we get into Mount Rushmore. You know what's such a flex at my age?
What's that?
Because I can't flex it often, is knowing the roads, like knowing how to get to places, like just in conversation, talking about the roads.
Yeah.
Because my dad will say, like, I grew up around here, but I didn't drive around here where I am now in Massachusetts. And so, like, I don't know the roads. I just plug it into the phone. But this guy's coming in from Abilene to Waco for the game tonight. And he had a picture. He's on the road with Cisco in the background. And I said, oh, he's about to get off of I-20 and about to get on 6 for the next 3 hours. And I'm like, I know that. I know the roads.
Yeah. No, I do like that. I'm with you there.
It's because it's something I can't flex off, and definitely I can flex way more in Texas than I can here. So I got a haircut yesterday.
Okay.
Got a big day tomorrow, so I got a haircut. You can't.
Looks good.
I mean, I've also been wearing a hat all day and haven't showered, but I go
all
in
things
there.
considering, looks good.
I moved here this month, so I haven't been to any barbershop. I just Google search, look for a good Google review, something that I can walk to, right?
Yeah.
And it's a guy's barbershop. They got the sports memorabilia on the wall and everything. And this guy, he goes, "You can hop up in the chair. I'll be just a minute." He goes to the bathroom. I'm like, fine. Comes back, starts talking to me for a second, and then goes, "Okay, I'll be right back." Goes back to the bathroom. I'm like, okay. And
is he not
at first, I'm like, that's what I'm thinking, which is whatever, fine. Like obviously you can't control that, but the first like that couple of seconds he was talking to me, I was like, okay, this guy's just a townie, like big time townie, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I realized what it actually was when he came back. And I got a haircut yesterday from a dude that was totally shit-faced. Like this dude was fucking bombed cutting my hair. And gave me, I don't have it, it's in my other desk, which is a douchey thing to say, gave me 2 BC versus Georgia Tech football tickets for November 15th in the midst of this hour-long haircut because he wouldn't shut up because he was just so drunk. And he brought out like the straight razor at the end of it because I technically get a fade. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm good.
I almost talked him out of it. I was like, no, you don't have to. He's like, it's all right. I'll just do right here. And I was like, fine, like white knuckling under the fucking sheet there, under the bib.
Yeah.
It ended up being okay. Again, I don't really want to show it again. You can't really tell because of the state of my hair right now, but it turned out okay. But I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And so I'm wondering if I should go back.
Well, so here's the thing that I would argue with that.
Seemed like a nice guy too. Like,
well, is maybe
sports.
You know how some people, I hate to bring this up because I know that we know people that's been a problem for, but you know that there are people out there who that's how they operate.
Yes.
And I wonder if maybe that is his norm. That's how he gets it done. Yeah.
And like he was talking with the other barbers there. And like nobody put up a stink. The other ones didn't seem drunk, and he would just he wouldn't even like finish sentences. You know what I mean? He would just like kind of say a couple of words. They'd be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait, what was the end of it? What was the end of the sentence? Said he has over 1,000 fitted hats, and is also a baseball jersey collector. So we got to talking. Like, we had good talking points. And then he's like, yeah, I don't even really like hats anymore.
So then what's he going to do with all of them?
Well, I asked him, I was like, you're going to sell them? Because like I collect jerseys too, but I also wear them a lot. I'm in a job where I can just wear jerseys at home. But when I stop wearing them, I usually do sound like I'm pretty good about selling them and making a profit. And he's like, yeah, I've thought about it I haven't worn much over the last couple of years. I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, you should really think about it, man. Like,
well,
you have 1,000 of these. You should think about it. But
there's not really, and I was just thinking about but is there really a second-hand market for like hats? I don't know.
Well, if you're one of those collectors and you take like real good care of them, I think there is. Not as much as jerseys for sure, but
yeah,
I think
I've never thought about looking on eBay for like a hat. But I mean, maybe that's me for not being more creative.
It is. You're not creative. You don't look on eBay for hats. You want to talk football movies, by the way?
Sure. Let's talk football movies.
So the original thought here was Mount Rushmore. Everyone does it.
Do that.
Everyone does. Yeah, which we will get to for sure. But we decided to do it a little differently so we could have something of a debate, although I think we'll probably agree on a lot of these. And that is we're going to seed them 1 through 8. Well, it's actually just going to be 4 matchups. It's eight movies. We will get our Mount Rushmore from there. And then I think from there, Zach, if we have time, real quick, thumbs up, thumbs down, gladiator style on who gets the worst of the worst. Because we talked about this yesterday. We love things that are the best. We're talking about uniforms. But I think we love even more things that are the worst.
Absolutely.
And I really want to do baseball movies because there's so many of them. But it's a football weekend.
As we're talking about it, like that falls into that, even though I'm in Mike's office.
I love rubber.
I do too.
Anyway, all right, Zach, producer Zach, talent.
Our first matchup.
What is our first matchup?
Our first matchup
football movies
is We Are Marshall and The Program.
The Program.
Now, I don't know if you knew this. Well, I guess we'll start with the other one and I'll save it for it. Do we want to talk about We Are Marshall first?
Lead the way. Lead the way.
I think a lot of times with these movies, and this isn't an attack on just We Are Marshall as much as it is sports movies as a whole, as I think a lot of times they find one event that they can obviously base it all off of. And then they make the narrative work to kind of fit for the story they want to tell through it.
Yep.
I think We Are Marshall is one of those movies that falls into it. An absolute, like, tragedy that happened through the Marshall football program. I don't think anybody would argue that. But it does feel at times that parts of it are sensationalized or just kind of like told and focused on, because Disney didn't want to tell a football movie. They wanted to tell like a feel-good story, like a rise from the ashes.
Right.
And you see that a lot. Like it's not even just sports movies. It's a lot of based on true story movies where they'll find like one or two things and then fabricate a lot of the other to fit to what it does. And I feel like
in that too, like Matthew McConaughey is like a caricature in that movie.
Yes.
Like he's a cartoon character in that movie, which is a little off-putting, but I get it. Like you need the charismatic lead and you're hiring Matthew McConaughey who hadn't even gone into serious work yet. So
no, I'm completely with you on that too. I also feel like for some reason, I don't know why it sticks with me, but like the Bobby Bowden scene does, because I've always wondered how, like, when you're these people that aren't directly involved with, like, you have a way, but like you're not the main part of the story. It's interesting to me if sometimes I feel like these movies then will try to like bring other people in for more of like a bigger role of like, hey, you know who this guy is? Ha ha, wink nudge.
Right,
exactly. And so I feel like that kind of like cheapens it away too. I feel like with this 8, and I was trying to explain to Mike before we were doing this, some of this is, I don't know. It was making sure that we could find movies, obviously, that we've both seen to be able to discuss of it some. So I fully believe that there are worse football movies out there than We Are Marshall, but that still doesn't mean that it's necessarily like a great football movie. It's good for what it is. Yeah. But this will come up with other ones. I'm trying to look and think. This may be the main offender, but just of where I think you tell the story you want and you use the history for it as a backdrop, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
We Are Marshall is very interesting to me because it's like, it's not a good movie. It's not. It's more just like kind of bland than anything else. But what amazed me the last time I watched it was the actual plane crash scene is like really good in like a Goosebumps way. Like it's horrifying.
Yeah.
And like it's not something you think about when you're on a plane, right? But it is like a really good, dramatic, terrifying scene. And it's just done and directed so well. And then the rest of the movie just isn't. Like they try to tackle, obviously, no pun intended, they try to tackle the big time issues, emotional stuff. It's just there's not much to the movie. So
it's over right?
Yeah,
of like the historical spec.
Yeah.
And also not the best, not the strongest football action too.
No, it's not. And on the other side, the program, it commits a sin that I don't like in sports movies, but I understand why it needs to be done. The actual program in the program is not a real school.
Yes.
And it's Florida State colors, but they're basically trying to be Miami. And it's filmed at Duke. So I don't love that. And it's just, it's some star power. We Are Marshall doesn't have a lot of star power
just
in
what,
terms of
McConaughey,
the context. McConaughey and Kate Mara are both in it.
Yeah, Matthew Fox is, I feel like
but they're both early in their careers. Like they haven't done much. Like programs got James Caan, Omar Epps, who had done a couple of big things by then. Craig Schaefer was really about to break out and just didn't.
That's true.
So for me, the pick is the program because it just kind of annoys me more that
so
they're
you think the
trying to go
program's
for
worse?
something.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're trying to go for something ultra modern, so to speak, right? Like this is what college football is these days, and it feels like a cartoon most of the time.
Well, it's true. Well, Alvin Mack as a linebacker is like the prototypical, just like what you would think of, like the just LT. Like they wanted an LT, just like trash talking like guy, and that was Alvin Mack
pre Derek Brooks. Like that's what they were going for.
Yeah. And so if you can imagine, and I don't know if I know I'm a little bit older than you, but like late or early 2000s, there were guys on our football team in high school that like loved the Alvin Mack character.
I'm sure
from the program.
It's like guys trying to be Patrick Bateman now.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like that's
so
what
like
it is.
I remember that, and it's the same thing of it not being. They're the Timberwolves, I think, is what their mascot is.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Doing a little more research, there's actually a scene. Did you know about the scene in the movie of them laying in traffic that got cut out?
Yes.
So I didn't know this, and I'll keep it real quick. But it's is it Joe Kane? Is his first name Joe?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. I think it's Joe.
I think
it's Craig Schaefer.
Yeah, it's Craig Schaefer. But his character like goes out and essentially lays in the middle of traffic of like a 2-lane, like a highway traffic that is just blaring by, and he just sits there and lays down and is reading the Sports Illustrated preview about how cool he is under pressure. And like the rest of his teammates are freaking out, and they run there and they realize, oh, this is kind of a test. And they lay in the center of the line with him as it like, traffic speeds by, and they howl. To which I found out that apparently that movie was more known for that part and them having to take that out because people were, copying it more than anything there for them. So that's never a good thing either. I'll go ahead and I'll give you the program as the first one.
Somewhere Pete Souza is just punching
livid.
Air.
No, he is absolutely livid. I'm going to try to do our graphics here in real time, but I think that I'm just with you that, it's going to be the program as our first one. So I'll go ahead and we can get on to our next.
Yeah, I can get it here. Matchup number 2. Draft day.
Yeah.
Against Radio. Now, this is to me the most fascinating matchup that we have, Zach.
Okay.
Because both these movies suck. Almost all of these movies suck. I'll say almost. Yeah. Both these suck, but in very different ways. So draft day is just not real. Like anyone who watches football follows this movie and is like, none of this is like it's trying to be real. It is trying to be like, this is what a draft would look like in 2014 with a love interest on the side. You know what I mean? Like that it is supposed to be hyper realistic, and it's really not even close. And honestly, Jennifer Garner, total bitch for telling him that day, the day of the draft, the biggest day of his entire year, with clearly his job on the line, that she's having his kid. That is so shitty. Like, wait 2 days to tell him that. Radio is inspired by a true story that is, I guess problematic would be the word now. I think Cuba Gooding Jr. is trying to be a special needs adult, but it comes off really embarrassing, way too melodramatic. It's very much white knighting, even not even like in a racial way, so to speak, even though it is, a black teenager and a white coach, or a black young adult and a white coach. But it's just like, oh, we're going to save this special needs kid because I saw a kid in a cage 30 years ago, which everyone watching the movie, seeing that scene, like, what the fuck? It just misses the mark, especially in the 2020s. It's easy to say that. But I think it missed the mark in 2003 as well. I think there were not great reviews on that. So, like, I don't know, man. I try not to get too bogged down into it, but as someone who has a brother with autism, I hate Radio in that respect. And I also just hate draft day. And I hate that there are people who don't really watch football that are like, wow, that's really what the NFL draft's like. And it's like, no. Yeah, it's stressful as hell, but it's not that. Like that's just dumb. That's just stupid.
Very much so.
This is a tough one to pick.
So it is a tough one to pick, and I agree with like a lot of your points. I'm going to start with Radio and then get to draft day because I know which out of the two I want to make my pick for, but I'm going to make my points.
Okay.
It does feel this is another one with Radio too, where like the football element kind of becomes like background dressing in a way.
Okay.
And I know that that's not necessarily like the key of being a good football movie, but it's just something that I think about when I think about some of these movies of like, it becomes kind of radio story, as you talked about there. It is very stereotypical, kind of what he went and portrayed, and feels like it's, it kind of reminds me, and I know this movie came out afterwards, but of Tropic Thunder with Ben Stiller's character, of just like, I don't know why, and it just feels like there was a time in the 2000s where they leaned into more stories like that too. It seems like it's a portrayal for like a good, like happy.
It's Oscar bait. If nothing else, it's Oscar bait.
I don't know. Also, oddly enough, and this could be on me, if Ed Helms is a head football coach, doesn't
Ed
seem
Harris,
to. Ed Harris, I'm sorry.
Ed Helms.
Ed Helms was in the
coach
office.
Would be horrible.
It would be both. Actually, Ed Harris would make a better coach than.
Well, he's just like, and this happens in sports movies where you're just trying to do like something of the time. Like he's trying to be Bear Bryant, clearly, with the hat and just the old school football, like 3 yards in a cloud of dust, no water in 2-a-days. Felt like it's just like, oh, okay, we're just painting by numbers here.
For draft day, I wonder if maybe this is. I know for people who don't watch the draft to see this happen and think that that's how things go, it's ridiculous. It's night and day there. But I do wonder if this is how the Cleveland Browns front office actually operates.
That's a good point.
It would explain so much.
That's a good point
about everything that goes on. So I wonder if draft day isn't a movie, but instead it's a documentary, and they just had Kevin Costner play somebody instead. But no, it is like the Seahawks are going to trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback that nobody wants.
It's just so dumb. None of it adds up. There's a great video about it too on YouTube.
I was so excited when this movie came out, and it's just because I've always been just a big draft nerd. Like, I'm the guy who played Madden, who never played the games in season, but would spend hours doing free agency signing and scouting and drafting to build my team. So anything about that, like, I loved. And I thought when it came out, okay, yeah, I know it's going to be fictionalized, but it is going to be cool to see some of these processes for the movie going public to watch. And then I watched it and I was like, okay, like maybe 10% of this is things that happen. Maybe the rest of it seems like a commercial for some of the NFL. Dennis Leary is supposed to be who? Like Jimmy Johnson, I guess. It's weird to make him be Jimmy Johnson 20 years removed from anybody who's a football fan right now to be like, oh, that's Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
You're telling me a GM wrote down, I don't care who you are, if you're the greatest GM of all time, if I sit here and I take a notepad when I eat my freaking oatmeal in the morning and I write down, Vonta Mack, no matter what. And then something throughout the day happens and I'm actually gifted with a player that's better. And I still look at that and I'm like, nope, sticking to my guns. It's just, it's hokey and it's not good. My pick is draft day. Draft day to me is worse than radio.
And you have to make like 3 picks. They have to make like 3 trades to get someone who was going to be available to you in Vontae Mack. And then you get the running back kid, but then you still don't have a quarterback. There are legit health concerns about that quarterback.
They have Superman at quarterback. They're cool. Like, that's the thing. They just rediscovered the veteran they had was better than they thought he was all along. Like, what?
Sure, it will rally around him. Yeah, I'm going with draft day as well. It just pisses me off. So we've got half our Mount Rushmore done with James Caan and Kevin Costner, 2 pretty great actors leading the way here. Ed Harris and Matthew McConaughey sit on the cutting room floor. Man, that's bad.
All right. I'll go ahead and load us into our next one, and then you can do the last one.
All right.
Our next one was, I was interested when you sent me this matchup, I'll be honest, because I've never thought of one of them as a bad movie. But so that would be The Waterboy and Any Given Sunday. Now,
I think a lot of people watching and listening would think that neither of these 2 are bad movies.
I have, honestly, I will be honest, I will say this, I've watched both of them and enjoyed them. I think maybe The Waterboy a little bit more because I knew what it was going in and I didn't take it as serious. But it is very much a like one, it's a one joke movie. It's the soft-spoken water boy who has a lisp, who on the field, when he gets angry, he can, pummel people and cannot be stopped. And it's kind of like that's the joke throughout the thing.
Yep.
And it hits it though, and it knows what it is. I would still put this in the category of Adam Sandler movies that I still really enjoyed, at least at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a run where it was like, oh, it's an Adam Sandler movie, but it'll be funny. And I laughed at it. And there's parts of I laughed at it, but it's not like to me, it's a 5. Like I'm not going to put it up against, I'm not going to put up against Friday Night Lights or anything like that. I don't think a lot of people, unless I'm wrong, and there's people out there who are like, this is my favorite football movie, which I'm sure there are. I'm not putting it in that same category. But on the opposite side, with Any Given Sunday, I think Oliver Stone tries to do too much, and he tries to overstuff. And it's like, we're not just going to tackle like, drugs or greed. We're going to cover it all. And we're going to make none of the characters likable at all. Like even the people you're supposed to root for, you're not going to want to root for them. And this movie at times is going to feel like a slog to get through, even though you really, really, really want to like it. And that is how I feel when I watch Any Given Sunday. There's parts of it where I'm like, oh, this could have been really, it's more potential of like, this could be really good, but it never delivers for me. And so like, I think for me, that's one of the biggest things is it tries to do way too much.
What's interesting about Any Given Sunday is that it comes out in 99, and like the same year in the NFL, that bare bones football storyline actually plays out, right? The 2 quarterbacks get hurt for the Rams, and then a third string, unheard of guy wearing number 13, like Willie Beeman, comes in, Kurt Warner, with a coach who's kind of on his last legs at that point, Dick Vermeil, and they win the Super Bowl.
I haven't seen it, but I just feel like we probably should have added American Hero or whatever that Kurt Warner movie was.
Yeah, you said you hadn't seen it.
There.
Yeah, American Underdog.
There it is. But I feel like it would have belonged on this list. Go ahead.
That was the only interesting thing to me about Any Given Sunday. I just, even when I thought every movie was good, especially every sports movie, I did not think this movie was good. It just does nothing for me. It's pretty much all the things you said. It's just too much. It's Al Pacino is not putting in a great performance. Neither is Cameron Diaz. It's all, I don't know. It's just way, way too much in there. And when you do that around a movie that centers around a JFK conspiracy, that works.
Yeah.
When it's around the NFL, the fake NFL, it doesn't work. To me, it's so easy. Like The Waterboy, you know what it is, man. And you could still get a chuckle out of it. It's not trying to be too serious. Fucking Henry Winkler's the coach. Like, I mean,
he has a Roy Orbison tattoo on his ass. Like,
there's no staying power. Like, nobody talks about Any Given Sunday. I think Pete likes it, but he likes everything. Like, nobody talks about Any Given Sunday. The only thing you sometimes hear every couple of years is part of that Al Pacino speech, but it's not like the miracle speech. It's not Billy Bob Thornton in Friday Night Lights. There's nothing. And when you go, it's a great ensemble cast, right? But when you talk about Al Pacino movies, that's not in the top 20. When you talk about Cameron Diaz, it's not in the top 10. Dennis Quaid, Jamie Foxx, those aren't in their top 10 movies. It's just flat. Yeah, for me, it's The Waterboy is stupid, but I love it. It isn't even close. I'm putting Any Given Sunday on the Mount Rushmore.
Nope. I'm with you there then too. So that brings our Mount Rushmore to wait, right?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I have it wrong. I got to switch it.
Yeah,
I got to. Oh, dang it! Tried to be just replace radio with draft day. I'll fix that on the next one. Me trying to be on the gun.
All right. Final matchup for the Mount Rushmore. This is like your 8-9 in the NCAA tournament because these are very similar, but actually not very similar. And that would be Gridiron Gang versus The Longest Yard. Now, similar in that they're, ne'er-do-wells, prisoners, probation kids who are coming together to realize the importance of teamwork and being part of a football team. And now that can cure all in 2 different kind of ways. But obviously one is a straight up comedy Gridiron Gang is not. It's supposed to be a drama with some comedic timing in there, but it's mostly a drama. They came out, I think, the same year, 1 year apart. I think Longest Yard was 05 and Gridiron Gang was 06. Yep. If I'm getting that right. But yeah, obviously two different ways in how they go about it. I grew up with both these movies on DVD, which for the kids who don't know that now, that means I watched them a lot. Okay. I watch both these movies all the time. And like The Longest Yard isn't good necessarily. Like it should be funnier when you consider who's in it. It's funny, like it's fine, but it should be funnier. And obviously I'm not one of those people, but 20 years later, I think there are a lot of people that watch it and say, well, most of the stuff doesn't hold up. The cheerleaders and such. Like there are some people who probably don't think that holds up. I do like the nice Dave Meggett reference, having a character named Meggett, knowing the Patriots lore about that. But Gridiron Gang, like it's kind of like radio in that it's trying, or I guess like Any Given Sunday too, just without some of the pomp. It's like trying to be pretty deep. And it's just not. It's trying to be Hardball, what Hardball was for baseball, which itself is an okay movie. It's okay. I know it's in the cultural zeitgeist.
Rock, though.
And I'm sure people of your generation love Hardball, right? Like it's deeply ingrained.
Hold on. Aren't we the same generation?
I mean, more or less. But
I mean, you're not wrong. I went and saw Hardball.
But you would have been a teenager when that came out, right?
Junior high.
Right. Yeah. Like prime, let's hang out at the mall, go to the movies.
Yeah, I was probably like 13. Yeah, I was probably like 13. Yeah, we probably went on like a Friday night with some friends, like to the movies. Yeah,
like I would have been a 7-year-old. So it's different. It's just different. I like Hardball. It's fine. I like Hardball.
No, I love it. I like it better than Gridiron Gang. It's the only reason that I say this facetiously. It's the only reason that everybody knows who the Notorious B.I.G. is, because
of course,
Big Papa is the celebratory song. Anyway,
for Gridiron Gang, just to close the book on it.
Yeah,
I've probably seen it as much as I've seen Longest Yard. I've probably seen it 30 times. I really don't remember much from it at all. At all.
Yeah.
No, it's damning.
Exhibit's the assistant coach.
Yes,
I do remember that.
Pimp My Team. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah. I'm with you. The Longest Yard. I don't know. I'll tell you this. You talk about being of that time and going to the movies. I went and saw the Longest Yard remake for my birthday in 2005. I own the soundtrack. It had a pretty decent soundtrack for if you like mid 2000s hip hop. But
it did actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
It is one of those like just cameos for the sake of cameos, which I know we're at a point of now where, but it was filled with comedians and wrestlers in lieu of actual actors. So it's a lot of like just bit joke. It's like bit after bit after bit.
Yeah.
And and it's kind of done like that, and why, because you don't want to like overcome, and I get it, and it's not that nobody plays it, they play it up great and all that, but as much as I love Kevin Nash, he's not going, his Mike laughs at that, like he played Super Shredder with no spoken words because he's physically like intimidating. Like, he was in The Punisher for his bit role because he's physically intimidating. Like they'll give him like words and stuff to speak, but a lot of these wrestlers, unfortunately, unless you turn into somebody like a John Cena, I'm not even going to put The Rock in there because I don't think The Rock is as
bigger
great
than
that. Well, but I think that one of them's grown as an actor while the other one stayed exactly where he was. So and so it does, like, it just affects the movie a little bit. It's still a decent movie, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I'm with you. I do not remember damn near anything about Gridiron Gang. And so for me, it gets the vote because it's just so forgettable in a way.
Absolutely.
And so I think then I have it right. That is our Mount Rushmore of movies then.
Of bad football movies that we have both seen.
Yes. That we have both seen.
There, I guess.
Can I add one tidbit that's not related to this, but I went down a rabbit hole and I need to. So I brought up Angels in the End Zone, which you had never seen, which came out in 1997. and was like a follow-up to Angels in the Outfield. I didn't know there is actually another Angels movie called Angels in the Infield. David Alan Grier is the main angel. Patrick Warburton is the pitcher.
Oh, yes.
They play.
Yes. First off, Patrick Warburton should absolutely be an angel, right? Like if you've seen the first movie, if you've seen Angels in the Outfield, you'd be like, okay, Patrick Warburton's going to be this next movie. Okay, he's playing Christopher Lloyd's character. Nope. He's playing Joe Rogan's character.
No, he's the main. He's playing Tony Danza. He is a pitcher. Eddie Everett. Here's the thing. I'm just telling you this based off the premise that I read. Who in his rookie year with the California Angels at the time, playing in the ALCS, 1 out away from knocking out the Red Sox. Your team's in it, from knocking out the Red Sox and making it to the World Series. And some like rookie infielder hits a grounder that he mishandles, and the guy ends up scoring, losing, and he's never the same player 6 years later, yada, yada, yada. Same thing. The thing that I loved in this one, though, is...
Wait, can I just real quick?
Go ahead.
Because we were on it.
Oh,
We're talking about the pitcher. And in the Angels in the Outfield, I was watching that in a hotel a few weeks ago, and I haven't seen it full length in years and years. I totally forgot in the 1-game playoff or whatever it was, last game of the season, where they look at Tony Danza. And of course, this 7-year-old, 8-year-old Joseph Gordon-Levitt knows more about life than most kids his age.
Yeah.
But Christopher Lloyd goes, yep, he's got about 6 months. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yes. He's going to die. And he's like, yeah, he's been smoking for years. And I'm like, so he's just going to go from a major league athlete to dead in 6 months because of his smoking?
Well, it's because it's baseball. If it were an actual sport, like
I guess, yeah, it's a fair enough point. But anyway, I totally forgot about that.
No,
Continue
that's great.
On so that
I'll just make it really quick. And so, but the thing is there is a fake team in it. The Arizona Crimson Devils, because you have to have Angels and Devils. It's another 1-game playoff situation that they get to, except the player for the Crimson Devils, who turns out to be that rookie from the Red Sox at the beginning, sells his soul to the devil be able to get the win, but they end up not doing it. It's very messy. David Alan Grier comes out and like tells Patrick Warburton that the confidence in his family is all he needs, and he's able to get that last out, and they win.
Yes.
We don't know if the dude ends up losing his soul who sold it to, like, make sure Patrick Warburton fails, if that works. I mean, I guess he's without a soul and without a World Series, so that kind of sucks. But I thought you would get a kick out of the fact that they made a Angels in the Infield in 2000.
That's so good. All right, let's pick the winner. Mount Rushmore.
Worst out of the 4. Let me bring up the 4 one more time. Then. To me, out of those 4 right there, I think it's got to be Draft Day. And it was a movie that I was so excited about when it happened that it's just, the best thing about it now is that thanks to my accent and not being able to open my mouth all of the way wide enough, sometimes it sounds like I say Giraffe Day. And a movie about giraffes running an NFL front office would be more entertaining and probably more spot on. So my vote is Draft Day.
Okay, let's bring it up again. Here.
All right.
Because I'm thinking, which one do I want to watch the least is Any Given Sunday. Because the other ones I can laugh at. Like, I think Draft Day is the most enjoyable out of these ones. The program is okay. Draft Day is almost enjoyable to watch out of these because you can poke so many holes in it. Any Given Sunday, just to me, it's just never hit. It was just always bland. Right. But if I had to pick the worst movie,
is that it?
I want to pick Draft Day. I really do.
I'm telling you, I think that's it. Because here's the thing.
I'm going to pick Gridiron Gang. I'm going to pick Gridiron Gang.
You are always a contrarian. I can respect that.
Gridiron Gang. It's neck and neck.
I will add, lastly, of another reason why I do not like, Draft Day in a sense, and for a lot of things, is it's one of those PG-13 movies that also wanted to try really hard to be edgy and get their one F-bomb in there. And they wait for at the very end for him to throw the diss line, if I may, of it's like, and I want my draft picks back too, you pancake eating motherfucker. And it's just one of the, like, for that to be the
one to put in there.
Yeah, they're like, that's the one we're peppering in. And I'm like, a lot of people eat pancakes, man.
You eat pancakes and fuck mothers. That sounds like a pretty sick fucking day to me.
Yeah, it just seems like it's way too hard for unnecessarily being unhard. Like here's the thing, Kevin Costner as a GM got fleeced, and he's upset that he got fleeced, and that's the only reason he said that. So
he
that
should
line
still be fired.
Yeah, and I went David Putnam, special teams guy, because that's how in he was. Anyway, it's draft day.
Anyway, well, that's it.
All right,
worst football movies. Have a nice Labor Day weekend, Zach. Will you do
you
that
too. So we're not doing a show on Monday, right?
No show Monday.
Okay.
Big weekend over here. I'll tell you all about it on Tuesday when we return. But that's it. Let us know what your least favorite football movie is in the comment section below. Then like and subscribe and find us here on Tuesday, live at high noon Eastern time, like we are every weekday except for holidays. And then wherever you get your podcast as well. I'm Cam Stewart. That was Zach Burke. We will see you on Tuesday in another edition of a little ditty that we like to call The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. We understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit TwoSains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.